Interesting election in Oregon recently. Ellen Rosenblum defeated former U.S. Attorney Dwight Holton. Now, part of the reason that Holton lost is because he had a huge role in cracking down on states' legal medical marijuana on behalf of the Obama administration. So it was an interesting message that the voters of Oregon sent. Hey, we don't like it when you crack down on medical marijuana and these raids that President Obama has been authorizing. So he loses. So then we turn to Texas, where there's another interesting election. It has Beto O'Rourke versus Silvestre Reyes. Reyes is an 8-term congressman. It's a heavily Democratic district. It's a Democratic primary, but he's been there for so long, not likely to lose. O'Rourke is a young guy. He was an El Paso city councilman, but in early 2009, he did something different. He actually championed a council resolution calling for a national conversation on whether to legalize marijuana or not. Now, they had it out on this issue during the primaries. In fact, Reyes, who's a former Border Patrol agent, decided to run this anti-drug ad saying, ha, look at this guy. He's for legalizing. We got him. Watch that.
No.
Are you serious?
Legalizing drugs is not the answer. Even our children understand that.
For our children and our grandchildren, I will continue to fight to keep drugs illegal, off our streets, and out of our country. I'm Congressman Silvestre Reyes, and I have worked my whole career to approve this message.
As Jesus said when he first watched it, it's like, take a load off, big guy. You worked too hard for that message. 8 terms in Congress, all for that. And guess what happened? Because of that message, he lost. 50.4 to 44.4. They don't even need a runoff if those numbers hold. And after working your whole career, you can now go home. Okay. Now, some are saying, hey, it might not have been because of the drugs issue. Now, Reyes had other problems, and an outside group spent $245,000 to defeat him. That's an anti-incumbent group. And he was accused of taking about $600,000 in campaign funds and directing it to himself and to family members. And O'Rourke at the end started to backpedal a little bit away from his marijuana position. But look, there's only so much you can backpedal. The guy wrote a whole book about legalizing marijuana, okay? And clearly it was an issue in the campaign. He ran an ad on it. So even if you don't want to give credit to the legalizing movement for the election, you certainly can no longer say, oh my God, it's easy. If somebody's for legalizing marijuana, you just run scare ads. You put little kids in it, and you go, oh my God, this guy wants to give kids drugs. Oh, how terrible he is, and you'll easily win. Well, it turns out, wrong again, Silvestre. Apparently, you can't do that anymore and win. In fact, you lost, and in stunning fashion. No reason that an incumbent should have lost that otherwise. So, given all the factors at play, it turns out that if marijuana legalization played any role in this campaign, it favored the person, the young guy, the upstart, in beating the old incumbent. So now that's 2 elections where it might have had a significant role to play. So you guys want to keep talking about how it's not an issue? Because that's the guys in Washington, the establishment. Every time you bring it up, they laugh. Obama laughed initially. Now Romney's laughing. They're like, oh, that's not a real issue. Yeah, no, of course everybody's for keeping it illegal. Really? Well, try it in your next election. See how it turns out for you. Ask Silvestre how it turned out for him. He worked his whole damn life for that. And it turns out, he said, you know what? You're on the wrong side of this.